Hello, I'm Lady Melanie Needles, and this is Captain Needles. Hello. We're here today to talk to you about a wonderful place called Alexandria, down by the river. Oh yes, I just love going down there. Yes, we enjoy taking a horse and carriage ride to get there. Oh, but those cobblestone streets sure make it a bumpy ride. If we need medicine, we go to the apothecary shop. Oh, on Sundays we go to Christ Church to worship. Do you remember when we went to Gatsby's Tavern to have dinner and dancing? That was so fun. Oh yes, what a wonderful night. George Washington was there for his birthnight ball. Now, my dear, enough of this reminiscing. Let's tell them of the history of our wonderful town, Alexandria. Hundreds of years ago, the Algonquian Indians lived along the Potomac River. Yes, they used the river for its natural resources like fish and water to live. Settlers from England came to Virginia and built farms and plantations. Yes, those settlers, they grew tobacco and wheat. Hogsheads of tobacco were rolled down rolling roads to a warehouse on the river. Hogshead? What is that, you ask? A hogshead is a big barrel used to store tobacco and other products. It's easy to roll with a horse or oxen pulling it. English ships sailed to the warehouses to trade their goods for tobacco. Merchants from Scotland. These men who bought and sold goods, they're like businessmen. They settled near the warehouses and arranged trading between the English and the Virginians. Alexandria was founded as a trading center in 1749. By the 1800s, ships from all over the world traded at those docks. Alexandria was a large and important trading center and seaport. And if I could look into the future, I'm sure I would see a busy city full of people still trading at stores along the river. I sure wish we could take them on a tour of our great city, but I have to get dinner and you have to start a fire. Oh yes, well, they can go on their own. Head down the lane, turn left, and look for the river. Good day. Good day. Oh dear, I thought they would never leave. Let me see if I can get this. I did it! My turn to try. Oh. Ah! Almost. Oh dear, so I can let him beat me? Oh no, one more time. Oh, better luck next time.
Welcome to Gadsby's Tavern in Alexandria, Virginia.
Gadsby's was founded in 1785 by entrepreneur John Wise, and then later leased to Englishman John Gadsby in 1796.
The tap room is a special place because this is where conversation occurred. This is where eating and dining occurred.
Notice how many items they used in the past that are different from what we use today. Do you see some items that are the same as we use today? Do you see the white dome on the table? That is sugar. They would scrape the sugar from the dome and use it for their tea.
So this is the ballroom of the 1792 City Tavern. And this room is where George Washington had his birthnight ball celebrations in 1798 and 1799. And this is the room where Thomas Jefferson had his inaugural banquet in 1801. So you can just imagine the fun and entertainment that happened in this room. And I really wish these walls could just tell us a couple stories or two from those fine evenings. This room was built for dancing. And the types of dancing they would have here is English country dancing, where there are long sets, similar to today's square dancing in a way. And you would curtsy, provide your courtesies to your guests, the woman and the man. The balls were started by a minuet, and most likely that would have been George and Martha at the first minuet of their birthnight ball.
I hope everyone is enjoying themselves this evening. My goodness, never a more beautiful and handsome crowd was assembled in all of Virginia. Let us continue with the talking.
Everyone seems to be having real conversations. I can't believe it. General Washington is asking me to dance? I love this dance. It's so graceful and dignified.
Oh, look, there's Miss Needles and her husband dancing in the ballroom at Gadsby's Tavern.
So this is the dormer of the 1785 building. These are the sleeping rooms here in the tavern. And unlike today, where you have your own room, your own bathroom, things were very different 200 years ago. This room would sleep 5 to 7 men, so you were really getting a space in the room, not necessarily your own room. So if you were the first gentleman from the tap room and you were very tired from your travels, you probably want to pick the bed. But if you were the last guy enjoying your rum punch downstairs and then you make it up here at midnight, most likely you'll be sleeping on the floor because, again, you're renting space in the room, not necessarily a fabulous bed.
Take a look at this room. How is it the same and how is it different from a present-day hotel room? Let's head on over to the Friendship Firehouse. In a town of mostly wooden buildings where open flames provided heat, light, and cooking on a daily basis, fire was a constant danger. The Friendship Fire Company was one of the earliest ones in America. The big bell at Friendship Firehouse told the town that something was burning. Here is the building, and oh, look at the cobblestone streets. Let's go inside and see a fire carriage from the past. Okay, time to hop back in the carriage to go to Carlisle House. The Carlisle House. Scottish merchant John Carlisle had this great house built on two waterfront lots of old Alexandria. The Potomac River no longer meets the edge of his garden as it did in the beginning. Carlisle lived in this home with his family for 30 years and entertained many important people here. The building served as a hospital during the Civil War. That's a beautiful gazebo on the property. And here are some of the beautiful gardens. Now let's step inside and look at some of the rooms of the Carlisle house. Now I'd like to tell you a story called Alexander the Old Town Mouse. Written and illustrated by Cheryl Shaw Barnes. Alexander M. from Montgomery Mouse gazed into the fire that warmed his old house. He thought to himself as he rocked in his chair, "The ball is tomorrow. I've got nothing to wear. Cousin Emma may have a nice costume or two, with lots of bright colors, maybe red, green, and blue. A robe and a crown and some jewels would be nice. Everyone would be dazzled, at least the mice." The very next morning, Alexander M. Mouse ran down Alfred Street to the old firehouse. He jumped up each step on the creaky staircase, then went in the door to Mouse Emma Lee's place. There's the Friendship Firehouse that we saw when we were on our trip to Alexandria. He declared, "Emily, favorite cousin of mine, I must have a costume. Something smart, something fine. I want to look kingly for the masquerade ball, but as of right now, I have nothing at all." "I can make you a robe," Emma said with a laugh, "if we take this red kerchief and fold it in half." "It's okay," Alexander replied with a frown, "but I just don't look kingly without jewels or a crown." "Don't fret, Alexander," Cousin Emily said. "Cousin Will can help, too, if he's not still in bed. For down in his basement, in Grandma's old trunk, you might find some jewelry mixed in with the junk." Alexander M. from Montgomery Mouse knocked twice on the door of the old Ramsey house. Cousin Will soon appeared, gray hair all a mess. "Wait here," he said, yawning, "until I get dressed." They found jewels galore and plenty of junk as they rummaged around down in Grandma's old trunk. And when Alexander reached all the way down, right there on the bottom, a shiny gold crown. "Hooray, Cousin Will! Now my costume's complete. I look very kingly from my head to my feet. But now I must go, for it's getting quite late, for I told Cousin Emma we would meet her at 8. Back home, hours later, Alexander M. Mouse smiled into the mirror that hung in his house. Now I'm ready, he said after fixing his clothes. Then he danced at the door on the tip of his toes. Gadsby's tavern was lit, a most festive display, much the same as it looked in George Washington's day. A feast in the great room, a dance in the hall. What a glorious night for the masquerade ball! There were mouse lord and ladies and mouse acrobats, mouse knights and mouse gestures, and even mouse cats. There were ribbons and bows and balloons, if you please, mouse cookies and candies, and lots of Swiss cheese. Soon the mouster of ceremonies said, "Gather near. It's time to announce the best dressed mouse of the year. And the winner this time for the best mouse disguise. Come on up, Alexander. You've won the grand prize." Every eye was upon him, every eye in the place. Alexander was shocked, you could tell from his face. He said, "Many thanks for this honor you've given to me, but my thanks most of all to my mouse family. To Will and to Emma, what more can I say? Without you, I would not be a king for the day." "Bravo!" they all shouted. "Hooray!" they yelled twice. Then the music began for the waltz of the mice. That's the way that the masquerade ball always ends for Mouse Alexander and all his mouse friends. He yawned as he walked down the cobblestone street. The ball was great fun. Now his day was complete. He had done quite a lot. A big day for a mouse. Now it's home to his warm Alexandria house. Let's check in on Captain and Lady Needles. Wait, it looks like they're not home. I bet they went to Alexandria. Maybe we will see them next time we're there. I hope you learned a lot about Alexandria, the place by the river.